本栏目由长荣房地产公司冠名播出，感谢开仕达国际集团、盛达地产特别赞助播出。
各位朋友，大家好。那么呢，今天我们又开始我们的美帝置业这个。Faisal Hassan，Mr. Faisal Hassan， 他是专门做贷款方面的。那么呢，他的这个贷款呢，会解决很多我们现在目前市场上的问题。因为最近房地产啊，在美国啊非常的火，买卖啊很多。那么包括有一些是从国内来的朋友，他们也很有兴趣要了解说，我从中国大陆过来能不能贷款？这个呢，今天我们也会得到一个回答。好，现在我们开始。因为Mr. Hassan 他不讲中文，所以我们还是要用英文。那么要有机会的话呢，我就会在这里给大家用中文稍稍的翻译一下，但是翻译不好不要怪我。How are you, Mr. Hassan?
I'm doing great.
Good. Can you you're welcome. Can you briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, my name is Afzal Hassan. I'm the general manager at American Mortgage and Investment Services. And I wanted to first of all welcome everyone and also thank everyone for joining us. We appreciate everybody's time and attention, and we will try to give as much information and answer any questions as best to our capabilities. So thank you very much, and happy to join you.
Thank you. 因为是直播哈，所以我们现在呢准备呢，就是说，如果有朋友有什么问题啊，如果是看到我们的话呢，现在马上就可以来问。那么我也可以把这个问题来问Mr. Hassan. Now the real estate market actually is much better than last year. It just increased. For this market, do you know the reason why the market is like this? A lot of people say because interest rates going up. So that's why. Is that the main reason?
It's many different reasons.
Okay.
First of all, there's the general real estate market, let's say in the United States, but then it's very specific to each region.
Yes.
So generally in the United States,
right,
due to the economy, since we went through the downturn of 2007, after a brief, few years period, generally the real estate market has been steadily improving and has been pretty stable.
Okay.
And I'm happy about that it didn't shoot up like too high. It has been steadily going upwards,
okay,
and making like reasonable good gains. However, we are in the Washington, D.C. area, meaning like Maryland, Virginia, and D.C.
Right.
So this area actually, even more so than the rest of the country, usually always stays very strong. Even in the downturn, when country's economy was on a low cycle, the Washington, D.C. area, meaning Maryland, Virginia, D.C., maybe some other states, close states, always ended up doing better. Last year, when you look at the whole of the United States, out of the top 20 counties in the whole country, 7 were in this area. Like the number 1 county in the whole country is Loudoun County, where they have Dulles Airport.
Yeah.
You were in that direction
You
today.
mean the highest income or?
Yes, they use like different criteria.
Okay.
One of them is per capita income.
Okay.
And some other metrics, also including some real estate categories and some other factors. But the per capita income, directly or indirectly, also translates into real estate valuation. Because of course, if people have a high income,
right,
they're paying more taxes, and then the government, they're able to make the community and area better. And then they also expect to have good housing, good schools, and those types of things. So per capita income, directly or indirectly, affects real estate and other economy, right?
Right.
So number 1 county in the whole country was Loudoun County. Number 2 county in the whole country was Fairfax County. And number 3 was Howard County, which is in Maryland.
Okay.
And then also other counties were in the top 20, such as Montgomery County, Arlington City and Arlington County, Prince William County, and that doesn't even count the city of DC itself. So the Washington DC area, because of a lot of factors, because a lot of international money comes through here,
Right.
and of course the government is here, so the money goes out into the rest of the country from here. Also, there's a lot of population density and also diversity,
Right.
and also movement. People are moving, they're staying here for a few years, moving out, and so on and so forth.
Employment is so good here.
Employment is very
It's
good.
always-
So
yeah.
government is here, a lot of tech companies are here, hospitals, and so on and so forth. And also, there's a plan of closing a lot of the military bases around the country
Yes.
and consolidating them in this area.
Yeah.
So for a lot of these different factors, generally the DC itself, Virginia, has been very, very strong and continues to stay strong.
Yeah. So when the real estate is very, very good, the market is so good, and then your loan, mortgage business must be very, very good also. So a lot of times people still don't understand because the mortgage actually changed. Many years ago, during that very 2005 and very hot time, and that time a lot of the rules and the regulations are different from right now. So briefly, what is the lowest down payment people can do? At that time, people can do like a 0% down payment, and then not anymore. You got to go to 20%. So right now, what is the lowest that people can do?
So the answer to that question is different for different needs and different products, right? And programs. You're absolutely right that from 2005 till maybe 2008, you had zero down payment and a lot more, a lot of flexibility. And then when the market downturn happened for a few years, a lot of those programs, they became more stricter. But after a few years, some companies, they became a little bit more flexible.
Okay.
From, I would say, 2011.
Okay.
But a lot of people, meaning our audience and clientele, they didn't necessarily know about it. They still had the impression that you could just put 20% down or something like that, and some people still have that impression. But guess what? Some companies, such as ours, we still have some very good flexible products.
Okay.
They might not be exactly as what those products that you were referring to, but they have very, very good flexibility. So as far as down payment, FHA, which said that, minus the down payment, so this is the loan amount limit currently in a lot of counties for FHA. Now, the standard down payment with FHA is 3.5% down payment.
That's very low.
That's very low. So that means obviously for a $100,000 property is $3,500, and so on and so forth, right? As you get higher in the purchase price, then down payment 3.5%. However, we have actually instituted a program, which is also an FHA program with 0% down payment program, which is a very good step, very exciting, and it makes it possible for so many people to purchase a property, especially first-time home buyers who might have limited resources of down payment and so on and so forth, right? So that's there with FHA. And again, most companies, they don't have this 0% down payment program, but we have specifically structured it. So that's with FHA, and then with non-FHA, just like regular financing.
Like a conventional loan?
Conventional financing program, we have available with 3%.
You can do 3% for conventional loan too?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. That's also some specific programs that we came up with.
Let me I do some Chinese here. 他现在介绍的呢，主要是现在市场上的一些贷款的一些项目哈。那么呢，其中提到了一个叫 FHA loan。FHA loan 呢，很多我们当中有时过去说起来啊，因为它的这个要求比较低一点，所以大家就感觉是不是是低收入的人用？他说不是的，他贷款一直可以贷到60万70万这个样子。那么呢头款的要求只要3.5就行了，3.5%就可以了。那他说还可以有0的，就是你不用自己掏钱，他们也贷款给你这样的 FHA loan。
Yes. So
one more thing， 然后我们同样是讲到这个conventional loan， 它 conventional 呢，它居然说也有很低很低的0%。So conventional you also can get 0%, or you have to like 3.3%. You say
3%.
Yeah, 3%的这个这么低的一个 conventional loan. Yeah.
And this is the minimum down payment. Obviously, if you would like to put more down payment, that's your choice.
Right.
And then more the down payment, lower will be your monthly payment. And so that's that. Now, we also have specifically foreign national programs. And, you know, as people might have, you know, experienced.
Foreign national program, meaning the people from overseas?
Yes, that means if you're not neither a citizen of the United States or you don't have a green card or anything of that nature.
Like a student visa?
Let's say you're here on a student visa, or let's say right now you're in China, right? You're not even here in the United States.
All right.
And you would like to acquire an investment property.
Okay.
That you would like to buy it, keep it, rent it out, and those types of things. Or maybe in the future, you're planning on coming here. So for that, we have specifically foreign national programs, and some foreign national programs, they exclude certain countries or regions.
Okay.
So some companies, they say, okay, we have foreign national programs, but we exclude Iran or North Korea or sometimes China or those things.
So is that China is excluded or it's not?
With our programs, it's acceptable.
Acceptable. Okay.
Yes. So China is acceptable among a lot of other countries.
OK， 他现在讲到的一个贷款呢，是专门可以允许从中国大陆那边来的朋友来贷款。那这个护照啊，是可以是学生，也可以是访问这个旅游护照，都可以贷款。中国是，它有些国家是不允许的，但中国是可以的，他们公司是接受的。What is the minimum requirement and documentations they can do to support to get them? Why? How come you guys can lend them the money? They are not even a citizen or green card here.
So let me actually give an actual example.
Maybe there's a requirement for down payment or something?
There's a requirement for down payment. Now that one, of course, I mean, I shouldn't say of course, but that one is not going to be with low down payment.
Okay.
It does require, a certain down payment.
What is that? 40%, 50, even more?
No, actually, we have a program for foreign national with 25% down payment.
25%, okay.
Now, of course, that will depend also on the rest of your qualification. So based on the rest of the qualification, down payment requirement can increase. But as long as you qualify, we have it with as little as 25% as down payment. I will give you a recent example of, as a matter of fact, one of our clients from China.
Okay.
Who does not have a green card, citizenship, and so on and so forth. He and his family wanted to purchase a property here in the Maryland area, for example. And they first were thinking that they will buy a property for like few $100,000 because that was the cash that they had, right? But they couldn't really find a property that they liked.
Okay.
Because it's tough to find within that range.
Right.
So till they were referred to us and we approved them, and they were able to buy a little bit higher price property, and rather than putting all of their cash, all they had to do was put down payment, 25%, which translated into like 60,000 or something like that, right? Or $60,000 to $80,000.
What is the house value? What is the house price?
In this case, they ended up liking a house. I believe it was $275,000.
Okay.
So, but we could have even approved them for higher.
Okay.
It's just that was what their need was.
Are you talking about the loan or are you talking about the house price?
House price.
Okay.
That was the house price, right? But if they wanted to buy cash, they could not buy that property because they had a less amount of cash, like $200,000.
How much you can? How big the house? Whether it's a house price, there's a cap, like $1 million or 800,000.
I believe this one goes to. I will double check, but I believe it goes to 750,000.
For the loan or for the house price?
For the loan amount.
Loan amount. Wow. So if they have their own money, so they can buy a much bigger house.
Absolutely.
Wow. 25%. 他说呢，最近发生了一个事情，就是他现在贷款贷给一个从中国来的人，那么呢，只付了25%，他就贷了款了。
Exactly.
So
And then-
what document people have to submit you? Do they have to give you the supporting document from China, their business, how they operate, and do you have to verify them, or how you do that?
Different programs they have. We actually have multiple foreign national programs.
Okay.
And each one of them, they have a little bit different requirements. But
They all-
in this particular example, this person, they had a business in China.
Okay.
We were able to get, a simple statement, like a letter from that business to say that, this is the customer's name,
Right.
is a certain position in this business,
Okay.
and also the income that
How much it is?
the person was getting on a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis, right? So we were able to get that letter, and we were able to use that as income. Now, if that letter is in English, that is better. But if it's not in English, then they can go to their either consulate or embassy
Notary.
and have it translated,
Notary.
and then they were able to,
Okay.
provide that.
Do they need to notarize it?
It depends on the, system of that country.
Okay.
Right.
So it's better to submit the letter in English.
It's better.
Okay.
It's better.
And then who's the letter from? Who the company or of government official? office?
No. The letter is from their own business.
Their own business. Okay.
Or their own company. Let's say they
Okay.
work for a company,
Okay.
right? They work as an engineer or something like that.
Okay.
Or they have their own business and their own company, right?
Okay.
So maybe from another person in that company, a secretary or another manager or something like that.
All right.
And then, of course, if they work for a company, then the manager of that company or human resources and so on and so forth. So the letter will be from the company, and if it's in English, great. If it's not in English, they will just go to their consulate,
Okay.
American consulate or embassy or whoever.
To translate.
Or sometimes they have
Yeah.
private services
Yeah.
and translate
They
it.
do. They
and
do.
get that.
所以呢，他说是需要那个借款的这位朋友，他的在中国那边生意的一个信，那可以是公司出的，可以是他们公司的一位领导这个老板出的，来说明他在那边赚多少钱。I don't want to get too many details for the requirements, how the loan is, but just give them a little idea how this loan can get it. The so you have foreign programs. We also have audience from other countries. So hopefully they will also learn this thing. I think we had a conversation. You mentioned there is something called a limited income verification program.
Yes.
And I mistakenly thought was limited income. Actually, it's just giving you less verification for your loan. But I remembered at the time when real estate was very hot, they were so-called bubble time. That time, the loan was so quick. And then there's something called a state income, state assets. You don't need to show anything, you just say it. But later on, that privilege is gone. Nobody can have that. And now you mentioned this way, so I'm very interested as a real estate agent. So you do coming back again, or what's happening here?
Yes. So this stated income, as you thought it's not anymore, privilege is lost,
Yeah.
but that is, we have it. There is stated income, but a little bit different than compared to before, right? Now, when the real estate market issue happened, then once we reinstituted these products, it was done with a little bit more common sense, right?
Okay.
So, first of all, limited income, it requires, again, not like low down payment or equity, and it can be used for either purchase of a property or refinance, right? So it does require some equity and down payment.
Okay.
So that also requires, for example, minimum with most of our programs, 25% as down payment or equity, right?
Okay.
And then secondly, in terms of the income verification, the advantage is that we don't need your tax returns.
Right.
We don't need your W-2s. We don't need your pay stubs.
Wow.
It's alternative income documentation
Okay.
that is needed. So for example, we have one program which is specifically for investment properties.
Okay.
Like somebody would like to purchase a property and they would like to rent it.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, actually the documentation is very simple, which is the lease and the rental numbers
Mm-hmm.
that the property will receive.
Okay.
So that has to have a certain ratio versus your monthly payments,
Okay.
your mortgage monthly payments that
Right.
you will have on this
Right.
property. And that ratio is 115%. So what that means is, to use simple numbers, if you have a mortgage payment total
Right.
of $1,000,
Right.
as long as your rental income is $1,150 or more, that's the 115%,
Okay.
that will cover that.
Wow. 他现在说到一个贷款哈，他是说有很多朋友有第二个房子、第三个房子出租的，这样呢，你也可以去买这些投资房来贷款，只要它不像过去有很多的要求，他说只要你将来出租能够证明你的这个收入能够比这个贷款每个月的按揭要多，那么举例呢是115%，115%，Did you say？
115%.
115%的话呢，就是说你如果每个月要付的按揭是1000块的话，如果那边能够出租是1150块的话，他就可以贷款给你，这是非常非常方便也容易得到的一种贷款。I think at this time you maybe need to tell people your phone number. So what's your number? I mean, they can look for you, or how they gonna find you? I mean, the program is good, of course.
Yes. Our number is 301-842-4030. Again, that number is 301-842-4030.
So when they call this number, it's your company number, right? And then they just ask for any the mortgage officers to help them, right? Okay, good. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now you're talking about the investment. The people buy their second home, third home. So talking about commercial. So I know you also do commercial loan. Is that right?
Yes, we have a separate residential division in our company, and separately a commercial division. Just to kind of give another information, our loan amount limits are from minimum of, on the residential side, minimum of 50,000 to a maximum of 5 million per transaction. And on the commercial side, minimum is 100,000 to a maximum of 100 million per transaction.
800 million.
No, 100 million.
100 million.
100 million is the maximum.
Okay.
And so commercial property means, like, if somebody would like to acquire a building such as this that we are in, the whole building, or they just want to buy one commercial condo inside it, or a multi-family, apartment building, or they would like to buy a hotel or different kinds of commercial properties.
Let me explain a little bit. 他们的公司呢它分两部分，一部是民用的房子的贷款，另外一部分呢是商用的房子贷款。那么商用方面呢，这个呢就是有很多朋友有兴趣了，因为好多年以前我们对这个商业方面的贷款做商业的那个时候大家还在为生计在拼命的时候，那现在呢，很多朋友有多余的钱，也有一些成功的例子，所以呢，很多人希望呢不要全部靠现金，也不要靠一大堆朋友来凑钱，不能够贷到款，他们公司做这个商业贷款。So please tell me, I know a lot of people wanted to get commercial loan, but they wanted to do business, but they never have experience on that particular business. Let's say a barber shop or a restaurant. Do I have to have a previous barbershop opening ownership experience so you can lend it to me? Or I have to have a co-signer, another friend who has experience and do it?
There's not one answer to that question.
Okay.
It depends on the overall, qualifications.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, the answer is no, not necessarily. But you need to have somebody on your team who's going to provide the experience.
Because you don't want to take a risk.
You don't want to take a risk. Now, that doesn't necessarily need to be a partner. Sometimes they can also be just a manager.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
if you have, one of the things we will require is your team resumes.
Okay.
Right? So let's say you are going to be the owner of that business, whether it's as a president or CEO or whatever have you, but then you have somebody already on your staff, on
Who
your
has
group,
experience.
who has experience, who's going to be a manager or some capacity.
Okay.
So that can be managed in that way.
What percentage of down payment they have to do usually?
Standard down payment, again, there's not one answer to that, but a lot of the products, standard down payment kind of is 20% as a down payment.
So not that much.
On the other hand, depending on your qualifications, it can be more or less.
Right.
We have settled, commercial transactions with as little as 10% as a down payment.
Wow.
And in some cases, we were able to use as collateral not just the real estate, but also non-real estate assets.
Okay.
So a recent example was a transportation company that they also had like.
他说呢，这个一般来讲呢，这个商业的贷款是20%，但他们也做到10%，就说你口袋里面只要出20%或者10%，你就可以贷到这个款。当然，他们说还可以用你的其他的财产来作为抵押。这个财产呢，不是说你的私人住家，是你其他的生意啊，其他的一些财产，除了你自己的住房以外的这个财产来作为抵押。So you're talking about it's not their personal residence,
no,
for collateral, and
well,
it
the
also
answer is it can be.
可以作为，也可以作为一部分，但是不需要，不是一定。So it can be. They say, hey, I have all cash paid my own residence. I can use that as a okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As I said, it's not like one answer to that question.
Okay.
It depends on the overall, qualifications.
Okay. Case by case.
Case by case, and different factors are, considered. Like when it comes to residential, to just jump back for a moment, there are 4 main criteria that we look at in order to qualify or approve you. So one criteria is credit.
Credit,
right? Number 1. Number 2
you're talking about for lending the residential loan, not the commercial.
Residential loan.
Residential
right.
loan.
I'm jumping back a little bit to residential so I can compare it with commercial.
如果要贷私人贷款的话，就家里买房子的住家贷款的话，有4个方面他们要看的。
Right. So for residential, one is credit. Another is called debt to income ratio, which means how much is your monthly debt versus how much is your monthly income.
Right.
Right? And then another one is called loan to value ratio, which translates into down payment in a purchase.
Right.
And then the fourth is money in the bank, which is reserves.
Okay.
How much money you have in your savings and checking account or retirement account and those types of things.
Okay.
So these are the 4 main criteria in a residential transaction.
That's what you look at.
Yes.
他说在这个私人这个住家贷款上面呢有4部分，第一部分是看你的信用怎么样，第二部分呢是看你每个月，当然可以说我的工资很高，有20万，对吧？每年赚20-30万，但是他要看你的这个ratio， 就是你的这个比例，你到底付出多少，你的开销多少，你有几辆这个高级的车啊，你还有其他贷款没有？还有付的这其他的方面的，这是一个。另外呢，你要看它这个 ratio， 就是你那个房子你买的时候，你的这个 down payment 的你的首付是多少这个比例啊。第三个呢what is the fourth one? The first one is the credit. Second one is the ratio to your assets.
No, second one is debt to income ratio.
Debt
right?
to 你欠了外面欠多少钱，你收入多少钱，这是第二。第三 the third one is the down payment. How much is the down payment percentage?
Down payment or equity?
Equity.
In refinance, it will be equity. Purchase, it will be down payment.
There's a third one, right?
That's the third one.
Right. The fourth one?
Fourth one is money in the bank.
Oh,
You know, how
第
many
四个就
reserves
是
do you have?
第四个是你的存款到底有多少在银行里面 ？OK.
Correct. So these are the four for residential. So I was stating those to compare them with commercial. So in commercial, what's going to be also considered is the business itself or the commercial property.
OK.
So also what will be looked at is, let's say somebody is purchasing a multifamily unit building, right? It's like an apartment building, even small, it has 6 condos or something like that. So we are going to look at how much is the rental income for each of those condos.
Right.
Let's say each condo, you can rent it for $1,000.
Right.
Times 6 is $6,000. So we're going to compare that with the monthly payment of the loan. That will be another consideration.
Another OK.
Right.
那另外他们也要看你投资的这个项目、这个房子、财产，它的收入是怎么样的，这个也是作为他们的这个考量之一。So are you talking about? I thought the full category is for residential, but you also for commercial is very similar.
Commercial, it's those four categories that I mentioned.
Plus.
It has a commercial equivalent.
OK.
And that's something in terms of details is best to go, as I said, case per case. So in addition to some of those categories, is this additional category, because now you're dealing with a business, right?
Right.
So as a business, you're saying, okay, how much is the business generating? And how much is going to be your monthly payment for that?
Right.
So that has to make sense.
OK.
And you want it to make sense anyway,
Oh, of
otherwise
course.
you're not going to buy it, right?
Right.
You don't want to have a business
if
that you have minus.
If you're not making money, why you do that? And also for your company is also, if that's so much risk, why should I invest? Why should I lend the money to you?
That's right.
Yeah, that's important. But you have to check personal credit anyway. Whoever
In
applies.
most cases, yes. Now in commercial, there's 2 kind of categories.
OK.
One is called, just a regular category. Another is called non-recourse.
OK.
Non-recourse means that you don't need a personal guarantee,
OK.
right? But in order to qualify for that, you need to be a very strong company. It's not usually for inexperienced first-time business, individuals. If there has been a company that has been around for a long time,
Right.
and they already have a successful business and they have a good track record, and the company can also build up their own commercial credit.
Okay.
There's a personal credit, right?
Oh yeah, there's a communication.
There's also like a commercial credit that can be built up. And actually, if any business people are not familiar with it, we can actually help them build up their credit, even on the residential side, but also on the commercial side. So if a company has been around for a long time, they have good money in the bank, they have like good income that is reported, and so on and so forth. So those businesses and companies, they can qualify for non-recourse commercial financing. That means a personal guarantor is not needed in that case. But, not everybody is like that.
Right.
The ones who don't have that strong track record, then most of the time the commercial, it will require their own personal guarantee.
Guarantee. OK. 他说呢，这个目前呢，很多的贷款啊，现在目前这个都是不太一样，各方面的每一个人的，有的是用私人的经验，有的人呢，这个按照你过去的这个商业方面的这个经验，那么还有的人呢，要是没有这方面经验呢，你就要用自己私人的 personal guarantee， 比方说你有自己房子啊什么贷款。但是呢，我认为最重要的就是大家要去试一试。如果你不试，永远不知道。你试了之后，你发现，哎，其实不是那么难，只是我们没有去做而已。所以今天也是非常高兴他能跟我们一起来谈这个。那么今天主要是谈到了一些私人的贷款。那么私人贷款呢，最重要的我认为是大家应该知道说，从国内来的朋友也可以贷款，而且这个首付也就是25%就可以。当然每个情况是不太一样哈。 那么另外一个呢，我们现在有很多朋友也想做点小生意，但是呢，钱嘛，总是将来买东西啊、买财产啊，这个派其他用处，因为你开了公司之后，你还有很多的开了一个店之后，你还有很多的钱需要放在那边来支持你以后的运作，所以呢，不希望把所有的钱都放下去。那么这个贷款公司就很重要了。Could you tell us your phone number again? I think it's important.
It's 301-842-4030.
Okay.
Again, 301-842-4030.
Okay. 然后then can they just look for you to ask for you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then you can refer to someone.
Yes.
In your office.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Today we mentioned a lot of different products, and some are kind of regular type of products. Some are products that not every company has, such as commercial, such as foreign national, and so on and so forth. So in this case, one of the most important things is experience of the person that you're dealing with. For a number of these products, foreign national, commercial, limited income programs, and so on and so forth, the ones that are not kind of like regular type of products. Even for regular programs, you still, of course, should deal with people who have good experience. So in our company, among our teams, we are proud that we have a certain very good experience with, number one, generally in the financing industry, and then also specifically about a lot of these programs. And then we also have a very good successful track record of providing successful transactions in all of these different categories.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the interest rate right now for buying a house? First-time home buyer or buying their own primary house. What is the interest rate right
Interest rate right now, it's right around 4%.
Okay. All right.
Now this is...
It's still pretty good.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
We are talking about a 30 years fixed interest rate.
Okay.
Right? There's many different types of...
But if they go
programs.
shorter, the interest rate's even better, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And the other thing is the interest rate, it goes up and down day per day.
Every day.
Right?
Different.
So it might go up, it might go down. Now when you find a property that you like, or if you would like to refinance, at a certain point in the transaction, the rate can be locked.
Right.
And it can be locked for 30 days usually, or a little bit less or more. So that means as long as you close within that time, then that is secured for you.
Okay.
And then if it's a fixed interest rate program, then as long as you have that loan financing, it will always be that interest rate, right?
Okay.
There are other programs available, such as you mentioned, instead of 30 years fixed, you have 15 years, financing, or even shorter, 5 years, 25 years, 20 years, and so on and so forth. So those will have a lower interest rate.
Okay.
And then you have adjustable rate programs.
Right.
That means
it changes after a few years.
After a few years. Even the adjustable rate, it will still be fixed for 3 years or 5 years or 7 years or so on and so forth.
Is that ARM is type of adjustable rate?
That's called ARM. Yeah. ARM stands for ARM, Adjustable Rate Mortgage.
Right.
That's why it's called an ARM. Not necessarily this ARM, right?
7-year ARM. What is that right now? 10-year ARM, 7 years.
We have different options. So you can have a 3-year ARM.
Okay, 3-year.
Or a 5-year ARM.
Okay.
7 years or 10 years. Right.
But it's still considered a 30-year loan.
Yes, the payment, is still divided over 30 years. Okay. But 7-year ARMs means that the rate will be fixed for 7 years.
Locked rate.
And after 7 years, it will start adjusting. Now, this is good for some folks who think that maybe they will just be in that property for 5 years or less than 7 years, right? Yeah. So if they will sell it, then it doesn't matter afterwards because the loan will be paid off. Take advantage.
Good.
Or they might think that right now, let me get a lower rate and lower payment, and I will refinance it after a certain time,
Yes. But how long usually it takes? I know you are very busy, man. But people want to know. A lot of times they think the loan takes a long time or can be very, very quick. How quickly you can do, and how long usually normal time you will take?
For residential, for most of the products, they should have an expectation average 30 days.
30 days.
Right? So within 30 days, as long as we have good customer cooperation and also cooperation from all the parties, 30 days we can comfortably settle the transaction.
If you really hurry, how fast you can do?
We have closed some transactions in 15 days,
okay.
for example, right? But everything has to go perfect.
I know. You have a lot of information, documentation, verification, so you don't want it to so rush. If everybody's rushed, then nobody's faster.
And also remember that it's not just us who is involved in the transaction. There's other parties, right?
Right.
There's the appraisal company, for example. They have to do their appraisal. That by itself might take a week. There's title work that's done by a title company.
And also buyers giving you the supporting documentation. They need to go to their accountant. Oh, missing something to add it on. I know it takes actually a long time. So actually about 30 days, that's kind of normal.
Yes.
That's very good.
30 days, that can be varied a bit, you know, 45 days, 15 days, somewhere in that range. But, you know, usually it's not a reason to make it shorter than 30 days because customers, in their interest also, they want to make sure things are done correctly.
Complete.
And also, during that process, they do certain things for their protection, right?
That's right.
They have the house inspected to make sure that they're purchasing a house that doesn't have too many problems. That's in their interest. They have the house appraised to make sure the value is, you know, reasonable value.
Yeah. For commercial loan, what kind of interest rate normally? I know residential is about like 4%.
Yes.
For commercial, what is that?
Commercial at any given time, you know, again, there's many different answers for that because commercial has many different types of programs, not just 30 years fixed, there's different categories. But just generally, at any given time when you look at the residential rate, let's say 4 or so percent, usually you add like 1 to a little bit more than 1%.
Oh, so it's not that.
To just get an idea of the commercial rate.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the program.
Kind of program.
Some programs it can be still more, you know, more higher.
Right.
But generally, just to get an idea.
他说现在市场上的这个民用住房的这个贷款呢，现在差不多在4左右，4%的这个。当然我知道每天它都在变化，当然现在的 interest rate 呢，其实利息慢慢在往上涨。如果是商业贷款呢，他说一般呢看那个时候的民用贷款是多少，差不多加1或者更多一点，也就是5%啊，5.25%啊。贷款方面常常说是5.125啊这样。Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate. We're very glad you're here with us. Before we finish, I think, would you like to add something to our audience? So,
well, basically, again, wanted to thank everyone for taking some of their time to listen to us, and we are very happy and honored to serve our clientele, you know, the community, whether they are in DC area or elsewhere in the country or, you know, outside of the country. And real estate right now, it's a very good opportunity, you know, if you will use it to purchase your home or to buy a residential investment property or a commercial property. So right now it's a very good time, and we are happy to fulfill the financing part of it.
Last quick question. Do you have someone speak Chinese in your company to help people?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So call that number, and you have mentioned it, so they can go backwards and listen. And then they do have somebody speak our language. And thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. 谢谢大家。